XRP had a very tradable move today on Thursday, October 20th, but its setup was horrible. I didn't take it because it wasn't a good setup, but it was a great move for anybody who caught it. So what I want to do in this video is I'm not going to give so much of a price analysis on what direction everything's going to go today. I want to more analyze what just happened today, and then perhaps give a quick suggestion on where I see price going. So let's focus on that. Let's go get it. Okay, so even though my ribbon information, don't leave comments. Hey, how do you set this up? This is, I offer this for my VIPs on Discord on how to set up my ribbons that I created. But so anytime price goes below my lowest line, that means I have to move up a time frame, right? So at this moment right here, I would have had to go to the 2-hour chart because it went below my last line, right? That's just how these ribbons work. That's how I designed them to work. All the time frames are fluid. Like they literally go with each other. There we go. So after that, I would have had a profit taking point had I taken this trade. And zoom into that bad boy. There we go. Right? So that area, even if it doesn't align with some horizontal or something, there is something there that algos are looking at, right? And that's what, for some reason, that's how these ribbons function, is they help you visualize what advanced trading algos are doing. It helps you, I don't know, it gives a frame of reference so you kind of know what's going on. That's how I interpret them anyway, right? However, its price is also below this gray line. So I'm just going to mark off levels here. So you have price right now trapped between two levels. And I there might be horizontals or trend lines, and maybe I'll find them here in a bit so we can see them in an easier way that you could put on your chart. Just kind of shooting from a hip here. These two levels right here are in play. So the next time it comes down here, could easily bounce. But if it goes below this and uses it as resistance, that's your next leg down. If it gets above this and uses it as support, that would be your next leg up. But anywhere between this area, which how big of a range is this? Maybe 3%. No, it's almost 5%. This 5% range, there could be a lot of compression, right? It could just go sideways in here. So watch out for that. Like, I honestly don't know if I would expect a big move anytime soon unless Bitcoin moves. Now, something that is between here is something very standard that we use a lot on my channel. It's the most important indicator, in my opinion, is the weekly 10 EMA. But what was the rhyme and reason for this to happen? Like, why would it spike so far below to take it, maybe to grab liquidity, so they can take on longs here? But that's what the ribbons are. That's what the ribbons do. Like, they help you see rhyme and reason when there's nothing else there. Like, why is it going below? Like, how far below should it go below here? If that's the whale plan, to take it below and then snap it back up above the weekly 10. So that's what is in play. It went below the weekly 10, snapped right back up. Let's actually go to let's go to the 1 minute chart. See how it interacted. Look at this. Look, it stayed on the blue line that I had earlier. It stayed down there for seconds. Snapped right back up and closed that 1 minute candle almost exactly at the weekly 10, which is this red line. Then went straight up. So let's look at the anatomy of this bad boy. So I would say if you want something on your chart that you can put on for a 2-on, kind of have a good guess on how price will move, I would say, yeah, there was a stutter step. Yeah, there's a stutter step over here. So this is how I would see a miniature range resolution on XRP to try to get the next move right. And specifically, not entering a trade when it's just going to float around and compress. It's the easiest way to lose your money and bore yourself and frustrate yourself and make yourself give up is not identifying when is a good time not to trade. So I'm showing you these micro levels because they could be they could be really important for you. So bottom of the range is the weekly 10. Top of the micro range is here around 44.3 labeled, and then you have the middle where it had support, resistance, fake out, but then it came back and used this as support. So let me label these. So on XRP, you'll want these 3 items on your chart for general guidance. Weekly 10, the middle, and the top. That's it. All right, now let's zoom out to see if there's anything else in play. Maybe the daily 10. Where's the daily 10? No, daily 10's not in play. No other major EMAs in play. Now let's look for something else that might be tangible. Trying to show you something that would align about the same. All right, so the wick, let me zoom in. I'm on the, let me go to the 1 hour chart. So it looks like the wick high on Friday, August 26th, with the low on August the 10th. Low August 10th, high August 26th. That might be what other people are seeing here. All right, now let's zoom into this bad boy. So if this breaks down, if the weekly 10 is broken on XRP, then you could expect a potential bounce at this area here if you made this line. And that could be useful, not for trying to catch a knife. I'm definitely not saying that. In the bear market, I don't know if catching knives I don't know if it's ever a good idea. But just in terms of, moving stops and, perhaps taking profits, that would be where I could see it bouncing. Capiche? So how big of a move would that be? So it gets rejected by the weekly 10, starts falling. That's another 4% move. To the upside, you're going to have this triangle that we've been looking at for a while. It looks like this time, because of this momentous move below it, it's probably going to be resistance. That's an obvious one. I've already shown how to do this. Set up the triangle on previous videos. So if you want to take a quick look at that triangle, maybe I can hide stuff. Oop, I even hid the triangle. There we go. And this triangle might be made on the 15-minute chart, because or the 30-minute, the 15 or 15 to 1 hour, because it'll help you see it more clearly all on one screen. So go to the 1 hour, spread it out. That's what the triangle looks like. So you need to so this is also in play to the upside, because it's very, very, very likely going to be used as resistance. And again, there are 2 ways that not just XRP, but resistance is used. Either straight up, it comes in form of a perfect rejection or a failure pattern. And a lot of times those are coupled. Sometimes they come by themselves. So, for example, if you see price get back up here, again, it's not just one level. It's an ascending line. So I can't give you one price. But as of now, it's close to 45.45. If you see it up there, just realize the way price will interact with it could be one of 2 ways, or a couple mixtures of those 2 ways. First is a straight up rejection and then back down. That's a rejection. That might be what happens. But second way, failure pattern. Or you could get a mixture of those two. This is if it comes back up there. You can get a rejection, take out a low, then spike up, then come back down. So this is called a rejection failure. And this happens on all cryptos when they come up to a resistance point that they're not going to pass, but it makes it look like it will. And a lot of times the anatomy within that, to be even more specific, a lot of times after it gets rejected, it'll take out the previous higher low on its way up there. It'll take that out and then zoom up because it helps like fake out a lot of people. But it's essentially a fake out with another fake out and then true direction. So watch out for that. And the last way that I could see price interact, or the fourth way that is within the realm of most likely ways, is rejection, or no, failure, rejection. There you go. Just failures and rejection. So it's just flip-flopped, right? First was a rejection, then a failure. Here it's failure, then rejection. So if it gets back up to that triangle, it'll very, very likely move in one of those four ways, unless it decides to move like its own animal and do something that is not common at all, which XRP is famous for doing. It's kind of its own animal. But in this event, since it fell so decisively from here, if it touches it again, I think XRP has a very high chance of interacting with the bottom of that triangle in one of those four ways.